Hi everyone. Today we are going to witness the Netcore Customer Engagement version 2.0, which is IA 2.0, and we welcome you to the platform. Here we have a small walkthrough of how to send out a quick emailer right from the steps of data upload, content creation, and the execution as well. So let's start. Over here we have the login screen. The login URL remains the same. We haven't changed that much. That is login.netcoresmarttech.com. And here we can go to login. And here we are into the platform now. So we basically would go through all the three steps of email execution process. But before that, I'd like to give you a brief overview of what has been added, what has been changed in the new version, the IA 2.0 version of Netcore Customer Engagement Platform. So here we have the menu, which now has a dedicated dashboard section wherein you can see your customer behavior dashboards, engagement dashboards, right? Revenue contribution as well. Then you have the engagement dashboard wherein you can see your campaign results individually, what the campaign has, uh, you know, uh, done and what kind of response it has got. Then you have the audience management tab over here, which can actually give you the idea about your contacts. So how many contacts you have in your system and basically what is the overall count. Plus you can also see your list which are there in the system and the segments which have been created. Then you have the content tab, which basically would give you an idea about the templates which are going to be used or wherein you can create your templates or store them in the folders. We support both AMP and HTML templates over here. And I have a surprise for you for an AMP. We have also got AMP drag and drop developer option with the new IA 2.0 version. So we'll reach over there as well. Last over here, we have the analytics, which is kind of advanced analytics, wherein you can see customer cohorts, funnel, RFM analysis, right? These two were basically present in the earlier system as well, which is the settings and profile, which would be a part of, I think, any SaaS-based product. So now let's see the most important one, the power button, which has been added over here, the create button. Earlier, you didn't have this option where you can just go ahead and click on create and do the desired task from a single click, right? We got a lot of feedback on that, and that's the reason we thought of including a power button, which can give you the leverage to directly go ahead in a platform and do the desired activity. Maybe you want to just upload a contact, or maybe you want to just create a template, a creative, or maybe you just want to deploy a campaign across your particular channel and that too in a particular format, right? So this power button is very useful, or it maybe very much friendly towards a person who is actually executing the campaigns on the platform and who basically is of short of time, short of maybe training as well at times, because this I think is pretty simple. It's even a kid can go ahead and deploy a campaign from here, so that's no rocket science. Okay, now let's see the flow, how your first email campaign can go over here. So ideally, when you do a campaign, you require two things, data and the content. So for data, you go to the audience tab over here, okay? And over here, you can create a list of your own choice. See, this concept of list was there in the earlier video as well. If it is present over here as well. List is nothing but a collection of contacts, a group of contacts who might be sharing a particular data source or maybe sharing a particular objective, purpose, category, whatever. So you add that data over here into a particular list. Let's say I put it over here. Okay. Maybe I have got this data from a shopping mall through some kind of campaign, right? And I have the Excel database. I can just go ahead and add a data or database over here. See, there are two more options to add data in the system, and they are pretty much automated actually. One is through SFTP, and another one is through API, or you can also say through web integrations or app integrations. So right now, what I'm showing is a pure manual upload. Now, for this, I'll need to have a data sheet ready with me, an Excel CSV file with probably uh, one or two attributes as well. Currently, I've just used email and mobile, which are basically contact points through which I can reach out to the customers via email and also via SMS. So this can be a simple Excel file, but it needs to be converted into CSV, comma delimited before we save it. Right. So, and yes, just make sure that when you're adding certain data like mobile number, it should be in a proper number format, which you can always do by just going to format cells, and you can just simply click on number, reduce the decimal value to 0. That's it. So now this will be uploaded in a proper way. Otherwise, it gives errors during upload. So this is the email format. This is a mobile. You can also add name. You can also add date, etc., age, whatever. So what happens if you use these attributes? This helps you to create easy segmentations. This helps you to personalize your communication. So the customer's name would be there when he gets the emailer, right? So those things add value to your campaign. So never forget that, if you have the chance to add attributes to the customer data, please do add them, right? We can hold up to 150 attributes in the system. So no worries on that part. Now, as I told you, when you save this file, just don't forget to save it as comma delimited, CSV comma delimited. Make sure of it. Okay. I'll just place it. Okay. And one more thing, for attributes, the email header will always be email, email. Mark those words. Mobile, mobile. These two will be as it is, right? Next, any attribute that you're adding over here should not have a space. You can use underscore if you want to, but don't use a space. Okay. So just keep these things in mind. And then once you make this data ready, okay, I'll just delete these two columns as I don't want to make the data large over here. Okay, now I'll go to upload the file. Click on browse. Select the file, open. Okay, here you have the option to select fixed typos as well for small spelling mistakes in the public domain like Gmail, Yahoo. These can be auto corrected with this feature. And you also have the option to add the same data into multiple lists. So you don't need to add it again and again for different lists. You can just do it once, that's all. So you can select from the list which is available over here. Okay. Currently, I'm going to the next step. So here you have the preview of your database, how it looks. Just one thing. At times when you're adding any new attribute, a new header for the very first time. So let's say if over here I added a name, right? Or maybe something else, which I haven't added before. So for that, there's a process which is basically called as attribute mapping or attribute definition, which I'll show you once I just finish this out. So currently I'm just done with this file upload. I'm going to the next step and I'm just clicking on done. That's it. My data upload process is done. Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about the attributes. So this is the place where you can add your attributes. So the idea behind using attributes, I have already told you, is for segmentation and personalization. But for better segmentation, you need to have appropriate data operator values, right? So if I define an attribute as a text, right? So tomorrow, if I want to find out the text, I need to have the relative operators. For example, if the text contains A, or if the text starts with B, or if let's say, the text consists of certain word, that way I can use that operator. Similarly, for date, it will be like in forthcoming days, on, before, exactly before, that way. If it is an integer, it could be like less than, greater than, right? So I can select that attribute data type when I define the attribute over here. This is a one-time activity, guys. Don't take stress. You don't have to do it every time. It is just a one-time activity. Okay. Once you do it, and you can, of course, you can give default values to it as well. So that if the data is not available for the customer, then a default value would be placed. So if name is not there, we can target the customer by sending him the mailer with dear member or dear customer in that way. Of course, you can map out the attributes to certain, I define it over here. Just, let's say, for example, I'll just put anything. Maybe I put some logical thing. Let's say for category, okay. So here I will have a relative attribute to be mapped with the system attribute so that data can be collected in a smarter way. Now, okay, so I'm done with my data upload. The next step for me is to create a content. I'll not go to segments right now. I'll cover that in a separate video. But yeah, even segment is very useful to create a database for a campaign. So yeah, right now we are into the content part. So here I go to create new template. Okay. Okay, so here I give a template name. I can choose the category as well, in which category I want to make the templates added. Right, so I can select that. And now I can select the type of upload which I want to do. So if you are uploading an HTML with hosted images, choose this option. If you're using an HTML with zipped images, non-hosted images basically, where the images are inline, you can use this option. If you don't have a HTML and you want to create a template through your drag and drop functionality or your image library, then you can use advanced drag and drop editor. In case you have the HTML, but you don't have a hosting space and you want you want us to host your templates, then you can use auto image hosting. So here you can have auto download and host images or HTML option as well, HTML plus images, which would be there in separate folder. So you can use all the 4 options for HTML and the 5th option for advanced drag and drop editor. You can ignore drag and drop editor. It's no more being used. Soon it will be out of this UI as well. It is just for a few older customers who are still using it. We have kept in the system. Right. So let's say I take an example of advanced drag and drop editor. See, HTML is very simple. You will know it, but advanced drag and drop editor is something which you would find exciting and easy to use. And that too with 100% responsiveness. That's the most crucial thing when you're creating templates. Responsiveness is the key. So here I can just simply, drag number of rows which I want to have in my template. And if I want to add an image to it, I can drag image over here. If I want to add some button, I can add button over here. In case I want to add some social links, I can add that too. Text can be directly added over here, but I can type in or I can paste out the content. In fact, over here, even a video can be added. A YouTube video URL can easily be added on this. Right? And you can increase or decrease the size of the template. Guys, I have a separate video for drag and drop editor as well on my video channel. You can anyways, go through that and you can take out that video from there. But I'm just giving a glimpse over here right now. So you select this, you select the images from the gallery. The gallery can be filled with your desktop images as well, right? So I can just click on the image. It could be a PNG, JPEG, or even a GIF like this. Okay, and then I can maybe, put out the remaining content. I can personalize my content. Let's say if I want to add name of my customer, if I have an attribute name, so I can use this like this. I can select from the text as well, personalized text option. Automatically, I can select the attribute from my list. Okay. And then you can do background color coding to it. A lot of things, a lot of options are there for the drag and drop builder. You can just go ahead and find out by yourself in the video, or you can just try out uh, through your own. A very dark color. I'm not very good at color combinations, so please forgive me for that. I'm just giving it an idea about what things you can do over here. Okay, so this way you can maybe, create your templates and do a save and exit. So once you save it, it gets added to the library. And once it gets added to the library, now you can go ahead and maybe you can directly go on in the template and click on the use button, or you can go directly to create button over here, engage, email, and select the type of campaign which you want to do. So let's say right now, I would go for regular campaign. Right, so here I would simply put my campaign details. There are 4 steps, which you have to cover before executing the campaign. First step is to basically add the name of the campaign. Okay, I can add tags to it, like for what purpose I am doing this. Is it for testing or is it for promotions, whatever. You can use tracking codes on it, like GA tracking code. You can put revenue parameters to it in case you have integrated your website or app with this. Next step, and we come to the selection of contacts. So any list or segment which is there in my system, I can choose that from here. A combination of list or segment can also be done. In case you have not created a segment and you want to create it right now, there's an option for that as well, which is ad hoc segments. I can just go ahead and click on add condition and target my customers who have a similarity between them. Like for example, who have opened emailers in the last 30 days. Take an example, okay. 30 days, and people who have a similar attribute data, for example, city. Okay, I'll take city over here. City, let's say, is Mumbai. Okay, my favorite city. So you can add that over here, and then select this. You can keep on adding more conditions to it: web-based conditions, app-based conditions, attribute, customer activity. And I can simply save this, and I can. So right now it's not getting added to my database. I think I have some issues with my database space over here, but that's okay. I mean, it's for my demo platform. You won't have these issues. So here you can add and save your segments to it, or you can even select your complete contact master, which means whatever data is there in your whole database, you can use that also. You can use filters. You can exclude contacts, any list or segment which you have created, and you don't want that to be a part of this campaign. So you can select that as well. You can use domain filtrations as well, which means you can filter out a particular domain like Gmail or Yahoo from your campaign, or maybe any corporate domain which you don't want to target. Okay, you select anything from here. Right now I'm just selecting my test data. Okay, and then I go to next step. Okay, here I put my sender name. Maybe I can just use admin. So you can keep this anything. I mean, it's on your own choice. What needs to be fixed is a domain, which would be, of course, mentioned in the drop down itself. So you can use that, and then you can put your subject line. Right. You can also use some AI-based features over here. I'm not currently using that in this version. I mean, in this video, actually, I'll have a separate video for the AI-based activities. Okay, now you can go ahead and select your template. Okay, you can do a test mailer to any of your internal IDs to see how it looks. You can do A/B testing also. I have a separate video for that as well. But yeah, this is where you can do A/B testing or maybe even split broadcasting. And it's not just A/B, it is A, B, C, D, E, 5 variant testing, which you can do. You can check your spam score of the content over here, right? And then you can put reply email IDs in case you want to capture customer information, customer response. Okay. You can add attachments to it. You can add a CC. It's not an actual CC, it's like a admin CC who will get a copy of the emailer once the campaign is done. So you can use it over here. This won't be visible to the customer. Next step, we select the date and time of execution. Here also we have few options like send now for instant campaigns, send later for if you're post planning your if you're planning a campaign on a post date. So for that you can use this select time date and feature. Slice and send basically is used when you want to break out your campaign into multiple parts, right? For maybe across the next 7 days, maybe across next 10 days. If you want to break the campaign into a fixed quantity, you can do that as well. Optimize with Raman is an AI-based feature. I'll cover that in the next video, right? So you can use any one of these functionalities and do a preview. Okay, and in this preview, you can basically select the save and publish button to send it right away. If you want to change something, for example, I'm not happy with any of the things, maybe let's say the contacts which have been selected over here. I can just click on edit. Okay, I can change the data over here. I can close it. I can maybe select a next data. Okay. And then I can just click on next step. Next step. Share preview. And save and publish. So that's it. Once the campaign is sent out, you can find out the results over here. How many sent, how many published, how many opened, how many clicked. The results are in front of you. You can always go ahead and download the data as well by going to this detailed reports option. So you'll have all the fields, respective fields over here. Right. So that, guys, that was just a a simple a very basic walkthrough of the email functionality of this tool when you want to do email blast. And that also we have certain additions being done like automation, optimization through AI, and other tricks and trades of the business, which I'll cover up in the following videos. So till then, goodbye. Have a nice time. Thank you.